This is Giggles and Gratitude. I'm Dina.
And I'm Tia. And today is June 30th, 2024.
30 days has September, April, June, and November. That means tomorrow is July.
You got that right.
So how do you feel about the summer months? You know, I've talked to you before about how months have personality and weeks. I can see them visually. I feel like June and July are pretty much the same. Weather-wise, my mood-wise.
I think they're hot. That's what I think. I think they're very hot.
They really are. But do you feel an excitement about July, or do you just feel like it's an extension of June?
I'm dreading July 4th because of the fireworks and my dogs.
Oh, gosh, you're right.
Oh.
That's so close
Because
to you.
that just, rattles my whole entire house.
I mean, we can't even express. I don't even know if you filmed it on your phone, if you could capture what being in your house is like during 4th of July. It's like you're in a bunker in World War II, or World War I, let's say, because they spent a lot of time in bunkers, and the explosions are going off all around you.
Well, I guess I could film it from my back porch.
I just wonder if it would really capture how it feels.
Probably not, because, you have to feel the vibration.
Yeah. Your walls shake. Things
I
on your
know.
walls shake.
I know.
I have been here.
And-
I know you live here.
Exactly. And, but even, if you've got, water, bottled water, the water moves.
Yes, it makes those little ripples.
It does. And so if it's that bad on us, just think about what those poor babies, because their hearing is so sensitive anyway.
Yeah, the 4 dogs. Who's the worst? Would you say Beckham's the worst?
Beckham.
And you get the little thunder jacket out. I know we talked about this last year.
I get the thunder jacket, but it doesn't help. I've just decided, you know what? I'm giving him a Xanax. And I've already looked up how much to give him. I'm sorry, that dog is not going to suffer.
Yeah, we don't recommend you give your dogs. Ask your vet, but
yes,
you've done the research. And I mean, could you leave? Is there somewhere you could go with 4 dogs? Or should you have to?
Well, wait a minute. And have Beckham to
throw up.
Well, yeah, that's going to be great for him, isn't it?
It's a good thing Beckham is so cute. It can be a pain in the butt.
I know.
So we had the great debate about fireworks last year.
Yes. Okay, so June and July to you are just about the same.
Yeah, they're like an extension. I'm just saying we had it last year, and we want people to celebrate because we're like 2 of the most patriotic people in the world.
Right.
But what can we do? What can we cut it off at a certain time so people can live their lives? I think that's what we decided last year, because by the time we're next week, it'll already be 4th of July's over, so we have to address it now, right? I'm doing my math correctly. 1, 2, 3. We'll have a yikes on Wednesday, but yeah, I mean, people, I just don't know. This is a very nice neighborhood. This huge, beautiful home up on the hill is the worst. I mean, they spend a lot of money on their...
A load of money.
Yeah.
And then you've got all the people on the lake. And so they
Yes,
all
you're on the
start
water.
at the same time.
And on the water, I used to live on the water, everything is echoes and amplified. And it's like it's twice as loud and extends. Anyway, we're going to get off the 4th of July.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Just use it in moderation. And
Have a picnic.
yeah. Have a silent 4th of July. Go, pew, pew, pew.
Okay, let's not. For fun.
Okay. Well, Tia...
Well, Dina.
I wanted to address, this is actually something that happened on Yikes, or You Know Something episodes on Wednesday, if you're a first-time listener. It was the OK Boomer episode, and we talked about how phone books are non-existent. You know, they've gone the way of the dinosaur. And you said, yeah, because we used to call 411 and say, I need the number of this. Well, we decided that didn't exist anymore.
Okay, why did you bring that up? You brought that up to make me mad, didn't you?
I wanted people to know the outcome. And it does still exist. And
yes,
she called
it certainly does.
And what happened?
Well, I got charged for it. $2.99, and I didn't even get to ask for a number.
We didn't. That's ridiculous.
$2.99, and then, of course, you get taxes and federal taxes on that. So there was really a $5 phone call.
So when our podcast makes $5, I promise I'll pay you back.
No, it was just
I owe you.
crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, we didn't get we could have asked for Keanu Reeves' number for $5. I mean, my gosh.
I doubt they would have given it to us, baby.
So I know people were wondering what did happen. Does it cost you? Yes. So I hope nobody listening said, "Oh, I want to see if that does work."
They're going to get charged.
They're going to get charged. $2.99. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Also on Yikes, we had an episode called Extremely Trendy / Great Googly Moogly, because instead of using X as a source for current events, we used Google. Couldn't resist.
Googly moogly, whatever.
And you said that you had talked to Ben Affleck
Right.
on the phone. Go back and listen. We're not going to tell you. Go back and listen to it if you hadn't heard it. She actually did talk to Ben Affleck. And I was in shock so much that I forgot to mention to you that I've also talked to a big celebrity on the phone. And it was Tonya Harding. Maybe not as big celebrity. And what would she be like? D-list? It's true. I know you're in shock. And if you don't know, Tonya Harding,
Congratulations.
thank you, was a Olympic skater. She had a infamous scandal where her husband and another guy knocked the shins out of, what was her name?
Nancy Kerrigan.
Nancy Kerrigan, thank you. And it was a big deal. I mean, I remember those Olympics.
That was horrible.
It was horrible.
Yes.
Now, she's claimed she knew nothing about it. Well, when I was married to someone whose niece produces reality TV in California. American Ninja Warrior, the Danny Bonaducci, I don't know if you remember Danny Bonaducci, had a reality show. And Chachi, whatever his real name is, had a reality show. It's like about their families. Mm-hmm. She did that, and a lot of things I won't even mention. I don't want to leave it on Chachi. She's very accomplished. But she thought, wouldn't it be cool to find Tonya Harding and other people who had been through scandals to see where they are now and try to redeem them? Like, let's find out the truth of what really happened. Now, since that time, Tonya Harding kind of had a resurgence. There was a movie that came out that won an Oscar. Margot Robbie played Tonya Harding.
Yes.
That was very flattering. But anyway, so they went and visited Tonya Harding. And this was before all that. This was like in 2009. They found her living in the woods, kind of self-sustaining. She's a very tough chick. Say anything you want about her, but she's tough and self-sufficient. And they got to know her, took her to some producers. They were like, no, we don't think anybody cares about Tonya Harding anymore. Turns out they did, and they made the movie. But anyway, she would call to speak to my ex, and we had caller ID up that would come up on the television screen, back in the day when...
Wow.
Yeah, and it came through the television so we could see who was calling.
You
and it
were
would say...
cool before... A lot of people were cool.
I've always been cool.
Of course. Oh, excuse me.
Not true. I wouldn't say
Miss
that.
Thing.
Not at all. But anyway, our big screen TV would come up and said, Tonya Harding. And I thought, that is the strangest, most surreal. I'm sitting here in my living room with my dog, and Tonya Harding's name comes up on the television screen. I will say, she was very rude to me. And maybe she thought I was his secretary. But she'd say, let me talk to and say his name. Not, hey, how are you? This is me, and da-da-da. Every time. Not just one time, every time. So I think she was just raised very gruff. So I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. But she claims she knew nothing about that and had nothing to do with that. And I think she kind of redeemed herself with that movie. I haven't watched it, but I know that she was raised in a very rough environment and had a tough childhood. And she is God's child. She's an image bearer.
Yes,
and Margot Robbie played her, so that's a pretty good image.
Okay, now if you'd said that you had talked to Margot Robbie, I would have probably been a little bit more excited.
More impressed. Okay.
I mean, just saying.
All right. I had to bring it up.
Okay.
All right. So, Sunday school, if anybody listens, they know that I teach 3 and 4 year olds the best I can. It's hard. They're 3 and 4. We color a lot, but I do try to teach them. This past week, we were learning about the 10 Commandments. And we watched a video. We go into an auditorium and watch a video. And then we go back and discuss it and try to pick the key elements. And, with kids that age, you try to repeat things. That's how they learn. We repeat, ask them again and again, small bits of a big picture. I mean, that's a big, 10 Commandments is a biggie. And then we do a craft that reflects back to what we're trying to teach them.
Right.
Repetitive. So they watch the video, they run around a lot, they talk to each other, they're excited, they're kids, they're 3, Right. But I want to be the good teacher. So when we finished watching, I had them line up and I said, if anybody can tell me just one, and I said the commandments, which are rules that God wants us to live by, can tell me one of the rules, I'll give you a sticker. Stickers are like, I don't know, cigarettes in prison, I guess. Okay. Stickers are like cigarettes.
There you go.
Stickers in church are like cigarettes in prison. They can't get enough stickers, man. They stick them on their paper. They stick them on their nose. They stick them on their clothes. They stick them on their hands. I don't care what the sticker is. It's just a sticker. So I said, if anybody knows one commandment, raise your hand and I'll give you a sticker. Well, little boy raised his hand and said, don't steal other kids' toys. I said, that's right. Thou shalt not steal. And that was his takeaway toys. Then this little girl is just the precious little girl. I mean, if you drew a little girl that was the perfect, precious little girl, it would be this girl. Big, huge eyes. Just talks like this. Just so sweet. She wears her little dresses and her shoes that match and little bows in her hair. She's just precious. And she raised her hand. She said, I know. And I said, yes, I'm going to say Camille. I'll say Camille. That's not her name. Yes, Camille. She said, don't kill too many people.
Don't kill too many people?
Did she? I looked at the other teacher and I said, did she say don't kill too many people? She said, she absolutely did.
Okay. Did she get a sticker?
Yeah, she got a sticker.
You only get half a sticker because you didn't say, don't kill, period. Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. And that's what I said. I was trying not to, like you, I just wanted to die laughing. I wanted to fall down and
I would have fallen on the ground laughing. And I would have said, now, who are your parents? They came to Tonya Harding.
Don't bust too many shins.
Right.
And don't get caught. No, it was, the other teacher and I were looking at each other just like exchanging through our eyes that we both want to fall down and die laughing. And to come out of her little precious mouth. But I said, that's correct. Camille said, thou shalt not kill. So
period.
Period. But I thought, I cannot wait to tell Tia that this happened.
Wow.
And of course I had a walking boogie incident.
I knew it.
I spend a lot of time walking boogie.
Yes, you do.
You have a doggy door. You have a fenced-in yard. And I'm going to look into a fence in the backyard. I think it's a solution. I can open the door, let him run out and come back in. Rather than going on a long, involved walk where it's so hot.
And the police don't like you.
Nobody in my neighborhood likes me. But this time, it was Flag Day. June the 14th is Flag Day. It was also the birthday of the Army. So I'm saying that to say our neighbors across the street, the little flags you wave in a parade, and they hand them out to you.
Right.
He put 24 flags down the curb in front of his house, which was great. And they put their flag out. That's awesome. It's great until you're walking your dog and your dog lifts his leg and pees on the curb. That's where he pees. So as we're walking along, I don't pre-think. Go ahead. What do you think?
He tinkled on the flags. Oh, my.
He pees on little weeds that pop up in the cracks of the curb. I feel like, I don't know what the etiquette is in your neighborhood, because you have a very nice neighborhood, but I don't think you should allow your dog to pee in people's grass because it kills the grass. But I feel like there's a 3-inch grace space for pee. Don't you? How can you stop your dog from peeing in the grass when you're walking them? Is that not the whole point of walking them, for them to pee and poop, usually?
Because you pick up poop and
you can't control a leg lift, right?
Well, no, I don't know. I don't let my dogs pee in other people's.
Okay. Now be honest. It's okay. We don't have sidewalks in my neighborhood, so I'll walk along the side of the street. He pees on the curb. I see in horror those flags coming and think, when I walk towards the traffic, you could say, why didn't you cross the street to the other side? Because you should walk facing traffic. A lot of people in my neighborhood don't know that. So cars will sneak up behind you. If you walk against the traffic, you can see them coming. Electric cars are quiet. They sneak up on you. And then I can jump up in the yard and pull him up. I saw the flags coming. Now, I did not allow him. I would, I'm honest to where people think I'm nuts. And I'm honest. I did not allow him to pee on the flags, but I had 24 flags. I had to say, no. No. Because, think about it. There's a little flag sticking out. That's the perfect leg
why
height.
didn't you just run past those 24 flags?
Could have.
Yeah, instead of saying no 24 times.
Could have.
Only you. I promise. There was a drone that's taped this somewhere.
Where are you when I need you?
That's exactly right.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
That would be the...
Like, just pull him and say, let's go. Let's go.
And kind of, even if you didn't want to run full speed, you could have skipped or something. I don't know. Past the 24...
I do like to skip.
Yes, I know.
But they're still up. I don't know how long they're going to be there, but I'm just kind of avoiding that
probably
end of the
until
street.
after the 4th.
Oh, you're right.
Let's see.
Oh,
There, you got that.
You're very smart, Tia.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a picture I'll put on our blog, and I'd love you guys to, even if you listen on your apps, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, whatever, if you'll go to our blog, you just scroll down. It's all one page. Scroll down and find that you can listen there too. It's a YouTube video. You can listen there too. And, if you're like, well, what did that... She always says she's going to post photos, and I never see them. You can't post photos on Spotify. I haven't figured out how to do it. It's just text.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go there, you can see the things we're talking about. And I'm going to post this. I just showed Tia this photo of Boogie looking at me and the 24 flags ahead of him. And what is he saying, Tia?
Mom, come on, please. I can get this. Literally, he's looking like, Mom, I can do this in 2.2 seconds.
I can
pee on all 24 of them. Just let me lift. And I've got it, Mom.
Good.
I know.
But I'll share that. It's so cute. Yeah, I did not let him do it. I'm very serious about the flag. And, even if you're frustrated about who might be in office at whatever party you're for, and we don't talk about politics here, I will never not love the country and never not respect the flag.
Exactly.
So I did not allow him to do it. He did, you could tell he was just saying, just one. Let me pee on just one. But he has no concept of patriotism, so. All right, so what's been up in your world this week?
What's been up in my world?
Or down?
Well, you know something? Honestly, I came across 3 really awesome sayings, quotes, whatever.
And let me ask you this. During the week, we know we're going to have a Giggles and Gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Do you search out things or do you allow them to come to you and speak to you?
If I find something while I'm looking, then I'll screenshot it. So, okay. No, I do not go look for it.
I feel like you surround yourself enough with inspirational. This is not, the concept of Tia Time came from how you live your life, not, okay, Tia, let's do this, and then you have to start living your life to find inspiration. Is that correct? Like, you live a life where you surround yourself intentionally with people who inspire you, whether it's online or your friends. So that's how Tia Time kind of came about. You had a lot of things you shared with me before. So I said, we need a section of the show where you get to share these great things you find. I just wanted people to know this isn't authentically you.
Right. But this is, you're going to go, that was probably not real inspirational.
Uh-oh.
But, the thing of it is I've got 2 that really, really are. Yeah, and I just thought they were just, okay. All right, are you ready?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm scared now.
I don't know. Are you in anybody? This is a story about 4 people named everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. There was an important job to be done, and everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody wouldn't do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have.
I'm going to explode.
Okay, was that
I'm loving it.
I did too.
So nobody ended up doing it?
Nobody. Not anybody.
Oh, that kind of nobody. Not the person named Nobody, but nobody did.
Nobody.
Because everybody thought
nobody did what anybody
Anybody
could
could.
have.
Oh, that's pretty deep.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought that there would have been 4 people named anybody, somebody, and nobody, and everybody?
I don't think there really was.
Okay. Well,
I'd like to
thought it was
post that
fun.
too, so somebody else could read that. If you'll share it with me, I'll put
Okay,
it.
I can share it with you.
Okay. And do you have source for that one?
Nope, there is. It's
Is it Arthur again?
It's Arthur.
Mr. Unknown.
Unknown. That's it.
He's prolific.
Okay, now what about this one?
Okay.
This is a deeper, I promise. And it's by F. Scott Fitzgerald.
I've heard of F.
Okay, see? For what it's worth, it's never too late, or in my case, too early, to be whoever you want to be. There's no time limit. Start whenever you want. You can change or stay the same. There are no rules to do this thing. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you've never felt before. I hope you meet people who have different points of views than you do. I hope you live a life you're proud of. And if you're not, I hope you have the courage to start all over again.
Ooh.
Now, see, is that not fun?
I like that.
I do, too.
Because I have started all over again, F, pretty late in life. So that speaks to me.
Well,
I like this version better.
you do like
Than
this
my
version?
first. No, I like this version of my life better than I did my last version.
Well, I didn't know you in your last, but I like you in this version
Thank you.
a lot. I mean, I really do. Well, I guess if that spoke to you, then this will really speak to you. Now, this is by Charles Swindoll.
Okay.
And I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with him. Mm-hmm. And it's called Attitude.
Attitude, okay.
The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude, to me, is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, that whatever people think or do. It's more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is that we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change the past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% of what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes.
I like that.
Don't I love that?
And it's so true, and it's something you know, but it's so hard. You lose focus at that. You know, like, wait, I can't control that this person said this to me, but I can't control how how much of my day is this going to ruin? You know?
Right.
It's hard.
But you know, a lot of people say, well, I can't help it because I feel this way. Well, you can change how you feel. Mm-hmm. You can whip it around real quick. I think that's easier said than done.
It is. It's easy to give that advice and hard to take it. I have someone in my life who had a bad childhood, and he will say, well, I'm sorry, Dina, I react this way because I had such a bad childhood. Mm-mm. And I say, the fact that you realize, I'm not a psychologist, but people spend a lot of money on therapy to try to figure out why they feel the way they feel. Mm-hmm. You've got it figured out.
Right.
So don't feel that way anymore.
Exactly.
You know? He'd be like, it's not that simple. I said, no, it really, really is. You know what the problem was.
Right.
And how long did that last? Well, it lasted till I was 18. All right, and how old are you now? Well, I'm 60. Okay, so your life has been much longer without that experience than it was with it.
I think people make choices. They'll either have something, you know what, I don't think there's anybody in the world that hasn't had something really horrible happen in their life at some point in time. People that had like a horrible childhood or whatever, they can choose to wallow in it the rest of their lives, or they can choose to rise above it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. And I know those are your formative years, so I try to be sensitive to that, but you have figured out the problem.
Right.
Without even a therapist, maybe. You figured out your parents were doo-doo heads or whatever it is you went through.
Right.
Or somebody was abusive in your life or whatever. That's not there anymore. Now, when it comes time for a family reunion, you've got a legitimate gripe. Well, Dina, I can't have a family reunion because I don't want to be around my family.
Right.
But other things in life, you choose your attitude.
Right.
Towards it.
And you go to Friendly.
What?
You go to Friendly's, like friend family.
Friendly. Oh, I've never heard that expression.
I just made it
Friendly
up.
reunion.
Because I just literally made
Copyrighted
that
by
up.
Tia. It's copyrighted. You can't have it.
Well, it's like, how people say, I'm having a Friendsgiving instead of Thanksgiving.
I've heard of that.
Okay, so he can just have a friendly reunion instead of family reunion.
There you go. I like it.
I like
we
it
can
too.
choose our friendly. That's
Yeah,
true.
we definitely can.
Those are good. I like those.
Well, thanks.
I discovered, and this was through our 40-40 challenge. Tia and I are doing a walk a mile a day for 40 days, and we belong to a Facebook group that gives you a challenge every day, or and the scripture to read. And
In Luke.
yes, in Luke, we're studying Luke, and people will share memes sometimes. And I had screenshotted a meme that I was going to talk about or show Tia. I didn't know if I was going to talk about it today, and then when we got together to record, she said, "Look at this," and it was the exact same meme, and you had screenshotted it off that Facebook
Because
page.
it was like, it got me.
Yeah.
That's how
And
I
it was
come
like we were
across.
talking about.
When something gets me, I have to do it right then.
And I'll share it on the blog. You'll have to go see it. But that's like, what is in your control? There's a circle, and inside it is in your control. Outside the circle is out of your control. So
Right.
it goes back to attitude, like you were talking about. How are you going to respond to those things that...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think if someone has said something nasty to you or hurt your feelings or made you angry, they're not pivotal to your life, are you going to keep thinking about it? Because they're just taking away minutes, seconds of your life. The more you think about it, if it affects your decisions, like I said before, how long are you going to let their doo-doo headness ruin your life? Because you couldn't help they said
You
it.
had to bring in poop, didn't you? There you go.
No, I said doo-doo.
Well, same.
They're poopy
Hello.
heads. There are poopy heads, yeah. So how long are you going to let this poopy head affect your life and ruin your life? You can't help they said it. You didn't know it was coming. It took however long it took them to say that, and for you to react a reasonable amount of time to it, and mull it over. Now let it go.
Right.
That's all you can do
Exactly.
as far as attitude goes. But the person who came up with that meme was Ashley Morgan Jackson. So I thought, I'm going to look into her. And so I went to her Instagram account, and she had a lot of good. I mean, you would imagine if you like one thing she said that you probably it would appeal to you. So you may want to follow her on Instagram too, Tia. It's at ashley.morgan.jackson. There's one that I liked here that I wanted to share real quick. How to recognize trusting God versus trying to manipulate the situation. In other words, am I supposed to get that new car? I'm going to pray about it. I think God told me that I deserve that new car, or that I need that new... Did it really come from God, or did you manipulate to get what you want? And I think that is good. How do you know it was your desire or God's desire? So here's what she says. Waiting on God to answer us is hard, but we have to be so careful we don't begin to manipulate, because God doesn't always answer quickly. I would say most of the time he doesn't. He's kind of waiting. Are you sure you want to leave that question?
Sometimes he does.
Sometimes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But we have to be so careful we don't begin to manipulate to force the outcome of our prayers. Anything we manipulate to get, we will have to manipulate to keep.
Mm-hmm.
The definition of trust is, quote, assured reliance on the character, ability, strength, or truth of someone or something. Trusting God looks like saying in our hearts, even if I leave it in God's hands and it doesn't turn out quickly or the way I want, I believe God is still worth trusting. It's being able to honestly say, Lord, if you're not giving it to me at this time, I trust you have a good reason. The definition of manipulation is to control or play upon by artful, unfair, or insidious means, especially to one's own advantage. We start manipulating when we believe it's up to us to make it happen, or it won't. You can recognize trust by the mark of peace. You can recognize manipulation by the mark of anxiousness.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, help us to be able to say, if you're not in it, I don't want it.
Oh, I love that.
That really helped me, because if you
Love
feel
that.
disturbed inside and anxious about the decision you're making,
It's not the right
it's
decision.
not from God.
Anything that comes from God, what I've found in my life anyway, if it comes very easily, then I think it is God's will.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
If it doesn't, and if I'm having to like struggle through it, then I don't think that that's what God's leading me to do.
Oh, that's good. That's a good guide.
I mean,
yeah, okay. Yeah. I think we know when let's say we bought something we probably can't afford, but we felt, I don't know, I prayed about it, I really want it. I think God's telling me to get it. But you lose sleep at night, like, how am I going to pay for this? You have regret. That didn't come from
okay,
God.
well, I mean, God even tells us to steward money good.
Yeah.
So, that's not being a very good steward of money if you're getting something you can't afford to begin with.
Yeah.
So,
Or I want to go to this party, or I want to go on vacation, and you have this gnawing in you after you do it. Even though, I don't know, God wants us to rest and have fun. You know. I think you know. If you open your heart and listen.
yes.
So look for the peace and look for the anxiousness, and then you'll know whether you decided God said for you to do that.
Yes.
I mean, like, these some preachers who are, what do you call it?
Prosperity.
Prosperity preachers.
Mm-hmm.
They're forcing a lot of stuff that tells you when you're watching them, this is not good. It's pretty obvious.
Yes. And you know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I am definitely going to follow her.
Okay.
I love that.
I'll send you a link. That's ashley.morgan.jackson. And there's a whole wealth of things in here, but I just thought I'd save them for future from me or from you. There could be some Tia times. Yeah.
Or they could be Dina times. That was a great Dina time right there.
Oh, thank you. All right. So speaking of Tia time, do you have anything else before we go to Tia time?
Baby girl, I do not.
Okay. Well, let's allow time for that. I just had a kind of a crazy Dina thought while I was out walking my dog, since I do it 3 to 4 times a day. And I want to leave everyone with this thought before we go.
Okay.
Okay. I said I saw a bumper sticker that said, "Are birds real?" And I Googled it to try to figure out, what does that bumper sticker mean? And it's the theory that drones are mixed in with real birds to spy on us. And for military purposes, they've made them look really real, but they can fly right in and nobody's going to look up and think, there's a pigeon, I do now, of course. I question every pigeon. But here is the thought to you. How do you know? Okay, let's think about dogs. You can kind of tell when a dog is old. You know how their beard, they start to actually turning gray, get gray unless they're a white-colored dog. They start to move slow. They look like they're in pain. Their eyes get cloudy. Have you ever seen an old bird?
Dina.
I'm serious. Think about it.
I wouldn't know. I don't pay that much attention to birds. I just think that they're pretty, especially the red ones and the blue ones.
Have you ever seen a bird flying slow? Have you ever seen a bird with gray on his face? My point is, I think we should question everything.
Okay, I think that is like you're way too much in conspiracy.
Okay.
No, that is off the charts right there.
All right.
I'm not.
Our open-minded listeners, think about it and look for old birds.
Don't. I just say don't.
Okay.
Dina says do, and I say don't.
I love you, Tia. I love you for putting up with me.
Sometimes it's a struggle. I'm just saying. Because I'm not going to go out and look for old birds. I will not. I refuse.
Okay. You're partnered up with me, or both our names are on the podcast.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to live through that right this very second.
All right, guys, we got to save time for Tia, Miss Tia. I think we've renamed it Tia's time now, but I'm going to say Tia.
No, I did, I think.
All right, I love you,
Didn't mean
Tia,
to.
sweet girl.
I love you.
All right, we love you guys too. Thank you, and please come back Wednesday for a new Yikes or You Know Something episode. Bye.
Bye-bye. Today's Tia's Time is actually from another bulletin that my friend was so kind to share with me. And this is, I believe, and the author is unknown. Here we go. I believe that our background and circumstances may have influenced who we are, but we are responsible for who we become. I believe that no matter how good a friend is, they're going to hurt you every once in a while, and you must forgive them for that. I believe that just because someone doesn't love you the way you want them to, doesn't mean that they don't love you with all they have. I believe that true friendship continues to grow, even over the longest distance. Same goes for true love. I believe that it's taken me a long time to become the person I want to be. I believe that you should always leave loved ones with loving words. It may be the last time you'll see them. I believe that we are responsible for what we do, no matter how we feel. I believe that either you control your attitude or it controls you. I believe that heroes are people who do what has to be done when it needs to be done, regardless of the consequences. I believe that money is a lousy way of keeping score. I believe that my best friend and I can do anything or nothing and have the very best time. I believe that sometimes the people you expect to kick you when you're down will be the ones to help you get back up. I believe that sometimes when I'm angry, I have a right to be angry, but that doesn't give me the right to be cruel. I believe that maturity has more to do with what types of experiences you've had and what you've learned from them, and less to do with how many birthdays you've celebrated. I believe that it isn't always enough to be forgiven by others. Sometimes you have to learn to forgive yourself. I believe that no matter how bad your heart is broken, the world doesn't stop for your grief. I believe that just because two people argue, it doesn't mean they don't love each other. And just because they don't argue, it doesn't mean they do. I believe that you shouldn't be so eager to find out a secret. It could change your life forever. I believe that two people can look at the exact same thing and see something totally different. I believe that life can be changed in a matter of hours by people who don't even know you. I believe that you can keep on going long after you can't. I believe that when you think you have no more to give, when a friend cries out to you, you will find the strength to help them. I believe that credentials on the wall do not make you a decent human being. I believe that the people you care about the most in life are taken from you far too soon. Okay, that was kind of a long one, but every single one of these I 1000% agree with, and I need to work on several of them myself. I hope everybody has a blessed week.